Okay, welcome everybody to the meeting today. We will call this meeting to order at exactly 4 o'clock. And is there anything that admin has to add to this agenda?
No, we do not.
Anything from the board? Okay, so get a motion. Bruce?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
All those in favor? That motion.
Dallin, I'm in favor.
Oh yeah, sorry, Dallin. I'll remember you're there halfway through the meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Okay, 3.1. Did anyone see any thing in the minutes that was to be questioned? If not,
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
okay, thank you. All those in favor? That motion's carried. Okay, we'll move right into the development applications. So 5.1, application 1502423. Go ahead, Peter.
Yep, so the applicant here owns a 79.98 acre parcel with the legal description of Southeast 35913 west of the 5th. The application is a variance for a third residence, which is technically a replacement of a previously approved residence, which was under development permit 156993. It is a discretionary use. Under the current, which is A2, a third residence is a discretionary use off its, which requires the MPC's approval. It was advertised in local newspapers as a discretionary use, and no letters or comments of concern have been received from adjacent landowners to date. It is my recommendation that the Municipal Planning Commission approve development permit 15024-2023 for third residence variance with the following conditions. And would you like me to read those?
What's the wish of the group? No, I don't think so. Okay, so has anyone got any discussion or anything on that? Well, is that the third residence that, or three residents on that particular?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is 3 there. They're just replacing one.
Okay,
The family is actively farming.
okay.
Mr. Chair, Councillor, go ahead.
Yeah, Councilor
I was
Fish.
just gonna say, it's already been approved, there's already 3 here, this is just updating what's on there. So I would be willing to go with the recommended action that the development officer where was the approved development permit 15024-2023 for third residence with the listed conditions.
Any more discussion? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Dallin, I'm in favor.
Okay, that particular application passes. What about 5.2?
Yep. So the applicant owns a 9.98 acre parcel with the legal description of Lot 1, Block 1, Plan 1120353 on Northwest 1059 and west of the 5th, and is applying for recreation use for personal use only and a CCAN. The applicant it's a discretionary use for personal use only, and the applicant will be utilizing this for family use and camping. The development will also include a concrete pad and a couple storage sheds. It is zoned A2, and intensive recreational use is a discretionary use. And letters were sent and advertisement was placed in the local newspaper for 2 consecutive weeks, and no letters of concern were received. It is my recommendation to the Municipal Planning Commission to approve development permit 15026-2023 for intensive recreational use, personal use only, with the following conditions. And would you like me to read those?
Anyone like to go right out? Okay, no, I see no reason to do that, so is there any discussion? More discussion on that recommendation? Dave?
I do have a quick question. Given the satellite image, overview shows a residence, it looks like on the property. Is that there or is that?
Not currently there. Currently nothing on there except the two sheds that remain.
Bruce?
Through the chair. So they just want to seek it, they're gonna have a holiday trailer or something there, or?
Yeah, they're gonna put the holiday trailer on the concrete pad, I think is the plan. It's just for personal use. I don't know if their plan would be to keep the RV there. I didn't get that information, but I have also limited them to 4 sites in the conditions.
I'll make a motion to with the recommended action, the Municipal Planning Commission approved development permit 15026-2023 for intensive recreational use, personal use only with the following conditions.
Any more discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor? That is carried.
Dallin, in favor.
Thanks, Dylan. All right. Now we will go to subdivision application in 6.2.
Yep, the applicant is here present. They are applying to create 2 small agriculture holding parcels, both 12.35 acres, from a 160 acre parcel on the southeast 162.7 west of the 5th from an A1 parcel. It says 2 here, but the proposed parcels conform to the requirements of subsection 5B as an addition of small agriculture holding parcels and meets the density provisions of this quarter section, bringing the density to 3 parcels on the quarter section. It was referred to our infrastructure department for comments, with which the infrastructure manager said the applicant will need to identify the approach locations and have approved before construction starts. The property lines will need to be identified to ensure approach is built far enough on the private property. There is an existing septic system on the remaining parcel that will require septic inspection by a provincially accredited agency. The parcel is tests will not be required. Water table testing is not required as it is over 10 acres and no stormwater management plan is required. A water availability study is not required as the density on the quarter section is not over 5. It was referred to adjacent landowners and 1 letter of inquiry was received. However, no reasons were stated other than they did not disturb the good agricultural land and avoid disturbing any existing wildlife corridors on the quarter section. Alberta Environment and Parks, and they had no concern with this application. The MGA states that municipal reserve are not required for the first parcel out of the quarter section. However, municipal reserves would be required for any additional parcels less than 40 acres in size. It is my recommendation to the Municipal Planning Commission that they consider approval of subdivision application number 2023 SUB 03 in consideration for the following reasons. And would you like me to read that?
See, I don't see anyone of happen to do that, so. Is there any more discussion on that particular subdivision or any questions? I only have one, and that is, when you're looking at the approaches, is there an ability to have one approach for both properties, or do you have to have two separate approaches? What is the ruling? What
Each
is the
property
policy?
needs their own access.
It needs their own access, it can't be a joint access, okay? Because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the one in the corner. So it doesn't really show, but I can see that it's cut off there, so. Is there any other questions, or?
Through the chair. So where that approach is coming on to the property, are you building a new complete driveway that whole distance? Or?
Yeah, we'll have to, because we, because we need, a driveway for each parcel. And, that's just what we have to do. And we tried exactly like what they said, what we wanted to do is not to cut into the agricultural land which is there. And we also didn't want at the edge of the property to the neighbor, there is a beautiful, like all the line down is an old spruce stand, like old spruce trees, and we didn't wanna cut them down. So that's why we decided to make the approaches the way they are. So there is at least the least environmental impact there can be, from what our approach is.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that piece of property, and it's a straight stretch of road. It's before the curve, and the other thing is that I see that you did it right along the edge of the field there, so that it makes it equitable to actually build a driveway there too. Because if you'd have to go through the bush, it would be very expensive. So I think you've covered all the bases there. So. Is there anything else? Dallin, no?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay. If there's no more questions or issues, it falls well within the requirements of, that has been laid out by our development department, so I'll entertain a motion then. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion with, we accept subdivision 2023 sub 03 with conditions that are laid out, that it's approved.
Any more discussion? I'll call a question. All those in favor?
Dallin, I'm in favor.
Okay. That is passed. Thank you very much for coming in, taking the time to come in, and welcome to Woodlands County.
Thank you. And really lovely to meet you all. And it's work to do that, I know that, so thanks for being on the council.
Okay. All right, we will move then to 6.2.
Okay, so this is a proposed subdivision application to create two residential parcels, approximately 5 acres plus or minus, from a 15.64 acre parcel on Part Northwest 95911 west of the 5th. The property is zoned country residential, and the proposed parcel conforms to the requirements of subsection 3A and B as a residential parcel and meets the density provisions of the quarter section, bringing the density to 14 parcels on the quarter section. It is split by the highway, so I didn't know if that counts, but the applicant will need to identify the approach locations and have approved construction approved before construction starts. The property lines will need to be identified to ensure approach is built far enough on private property. As the proposed parcel is under 10 acres in size, a soil classification test is required, as well as an existing septic system on the existing parcel with a single-family dwelling on it. An inspection by an accredited inspector will be required. Water table testing is required as the and water availability study, as the parcel is under 10 acres in size and is over 5 parcels per quarter section. It was referred to adjacent landowners and no letters of concern were received. It was referred to a number of agencies, and comments came back from Alberta Environment with no concerns. Alberta Transportation has granted approval of the subdivision authority to vary the requirements of subsection 19 of the regulation, and the town of Whitecourt expressed concerns with the density, increase in density in the congested area, however, had no objection to the proposed subdivision. It states that municipal reserve are required to be collected and payable and as money in lieu of reserve land. The amount shall be equal to 10% of the appraised value of land to be subdivided. It is my recommendation that the Municipal Planning Commission consider approval of subdivision application number 2023 SUB04 in consideration for the following reasons. And would you like me to go through those?
Wish of the board? No? Nope, go ahead. Is there anything else, Peter?
Nope, that's everything.
Okay, so you see what's in front of us. Is there any concerns that any of you have?
Nope.
Dave?
I'll make a motion to approve subdivision application number 2023 sub-04 with a list of following conditions.
If there's no more discussion, I'll call a question. All those in favor?
Alan, I'm in favor.
Thank you. That passes. All right, anyone that has read through the 7.1, the information items, was there anything there that either staff or the board wants to comment on? I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that the MPC accept information items and permits approved by the development officer's information.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Hearing none, I will call a question. All those in favor?
Alan, I'm in favor.
Okay, that takes care of that. That passes. No new business, so next meeting will be determined, I think it's on 27th, right?
21st,
Or 21st?
2 weeks.
Okay, so next meeting,
That's all.
next meeting,
21st?
Yep.
Yes,
and that one's at 5?
yes.
Okay,
And at this time, we have 4 development permit applications and 1 subdivision application.
things are getting busy.
Yeah.
They all came in like the last
And
day.
how many subdivisions? Two?
Just one.
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll call for a motion to adjourn. John?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Alan, I'm in favor.
Okay, thank you. So there we go.